right, welcome to our Gather and Grow training call for the month of March. It's crazy. We're already in the third month of the year. It feels like time just keeps flying by, right? They say the days are long, but the weeks and months are short. That's kind of how I feel with this year already. Um, Super excited to be here tonight to talk. We are going to be talking all things PRV. So I want you to grab, if you don't have in front of you, a piece of paper, something you can write on, and a pen for a little exercise we're going to do here at the beginning of the call. And if you don't have that, you could use your notes like on your phone if you're able to um, multitask on your phone like that. You could do that as well. Veronica made it on. Good. It's a tricky night. I'm not sure what's happening. It's thinking we're not supposed to be here or something. All right. So I want you to, so we're talking all things PRV tonight. Okay. So personal retail volume. So sales is the focus for the evening. Um, so I want you to make a list and you're only thinking about this month. So the month of March, we're 20 days in the last 2.5-ish weeks, where have you gotten your sales from? So I want you to write down, I had a host that did a party, or I had a fundraiser, or I had an online party. I did a text to customers and I had people reach out. I did mail outs and I had customers order from my mail outs. One-on-one sales. So think of how, from the sales that you have entered into your workstation, where did you get those sales? I'll give you a minute. I gotta write mine down too. Oh, and another thing you can add, if you ordered any of the transition kits, that was probably part of your sales this month if you ordered that, right? Everybody have it written down? So out of those things, which would you say had given you the most PRV? And I want you to write that in the comments in our group chat. Out of the things you wrote on your list of where you got your sales, write down in our chat which one brought you the most PRV. We have online orders, website orders, bag party, Harry Potter. Nice. What else? There's 30 of us on the call. We should all have something. All right, we got text messaging, follow up from mailer. That's solid. Online Facebook party, follow up, online sales, mail out from online orders for mail outs, in-person cash orders put together on my bulk. I'm guessing that's like you just collected a bunch of orders, which is great. Follow up fundraiser. Bree has a fundraiser going on. One-on-one orders, sharing with customers, open house. Nice, Vero. That's awesome. Follow up, and then Jen joining, which is awesome. Website orders, new products and clearance. Yes. One-on-one fundraiser, April. PWS sales, sent out mailers, text party, one-on-one, pre-sales from World Tour with new catalog. I love that. So good. So as you can tell, we all have different ways of getting our PRV. So PRV, your retail sales are the foundation of your business. Your business will continue to grow or be stagnant. I have experienced both of those in my business over the past 18 years. I've experienced the growth from my PRV, where I have people hosting parties, where I have people joining, because when they purchase products, that's like the start of their experience with Scentsy products, right? They talked about at World Tour, where's my World Tour book? See, I had this in my mind, but it didn't clear as much as I should. They talked about, what did they call it? Does anybody remember? This cycle, something cycle, anybody remember off the top of your mind?
The Glen?
No. They talked about it at World Tour, where it's like you're first introduced to Scentsy and you experience it. And then as you experience it, you want more of it. And so then you host a party. And then as you host a party, you see the benefits of hosting a party and the rewards that you get, but then also potentially the income that you could get. And then you turn it into a new team member, right? What is it called? Okay, it's gonna bug me, but it's a cycle essentially where it just continues to go around and around, and each customer's experience will determine where they land in the circle, in the cycle. So if you have a VIP group of some amazing customers and you've talked to them about hosting, and maybe they have hosted, but you've talked to them about joining, and maybe they joined and they left, or maybe they're not interested in joining, they just want to buy. Each person in each phase of this cycle is vital in our business. But the second you stop creating new PRV relationships with people, so that sales relationship where you get people buying the products, that's when your business can start to go stagnant, meaning no growth. You're not getting more parties, you're not getting new team members, you're not getting anything essentially, right? So we have to continue to grow that PRV base of our business to allow us to grow. So I want you have written down how you got all your PRV this month. Now I want you to, from this list that you saw everybody share, was there one thing in there that you would like to try to do? Maybe you want to try to do a focus on a specific product like Harry Potter. And maybe you didn't have the time, but it's still available. So you could this week make a push and do a focus on specific product to get sales. Or maybe you see a Facebook party and you've never done one and you want to try one. What would you do? Erica and Jenier, is that how you say it, Jenier? Webb? Did I say that right? I hope. They both mentioned fundraising. I love that. And Andy did too. Jennifer, okay. That's what I thought. So I want you to write down what the one thing you want to do to get PRV before the end of the month. So write it down. Now, whether you have a fundraiser this month or you book it this month, it doesn't matter, right? But booking it or holding one is super important. I love this. A home party. The Buddy Clip Easter eggs. So great. You have all this stuff, you just need to do it. That's always where I get hung up sometimes, is the doing, right? Like I have all these ideas, or I see these ideas that people share and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. I want to do it, and I get all the stuff and it's like, kind of get a little cold feet, if you will, where you're just like, I don't know if it's going to go over well, or I don't know if people are going to actually want to do it.
I get hung up in the details.
Yep.
I make things way too complicated.
It's called paralysis by analysis. Something my husband has. Overthinks everything and doesn't do anything sometimes, and it just makes it really tricky when you're trying to like do something. And I'm the complete opposite. I don't think about the details. I just do it without any thought of like the best way to do it or maybe a more efficient way to do it. I just do it, right? So it's like both ends of the spectrum, not necessarily the best. But hopefully we can meet in the middle sometimes and like be productive, right?
I just need to keep my motto, something is better than nothing.
Yes, 100%, 100%. All right, so I think Bree is gonna share a little bit about fundraising. We have about 15 minutes left in the call. So I had a few people that were gonna share how they've gotten PRV this month, and hopefully you can get some ideas around trying these new things that you have written down. And if you don't get those ideas right here tonight, I can guarantee you, if you reach out to your leader, your superstar director, or your director about where can I get information on events, they will be able to point you to a lot of different resources that we have in our workstation, but also that consultants are so freely sharing around different things on YouTube, where we can get you that information so that you can really focus in on the how of that thing. So Bree, I'm going to give it over to you to share.
Sure.
Bonnie, and then Marie and Vero, if you have something, we'll do that.
Okay, so I love doing fundraisers, and the reason why is they don't keep my emotions feeling mundane because I'm giving back to somebody. So I'm constantly marketing. Do you have a group that needs to raise funds for something? And what I've done, so right now I'm doing a missions group that's going to Africa, but I also have a BPA group right behind them. So any kind of group counts, whether it's a religious group or a school group. I tend to really love the groups that are like 20 to 25 participants because I can manage that well. I know some people like to do full elementary schools. That's overwhelming to me, but I love to do it. I keep it super simple. I buy everything straight out of the workstation. I've always done it with what Scentsy gives us, and then it's a full catalog fundraiser. The best thing for me though, right now, because it's so busy post pandemic and people, is I create an online link per person. So then that gives each individual person that's doing the fundraiser a little more buy-in because they have to at least hit a party goal, right? So I give them a goal. You have a goal of 500 or 1,000 or whatever goal we sit down and set up. You have a goal for this, and then I spell it out. You get this much money back if you reach that goal to help you. And then for me, on the business side of it, if you've never done a fundraiser, you as the business owner get all of the host rewards because you're giving away your commission from that. So then I take those host rewards and I sell that product real quick, like, so that I can gain back those commissions, because that's free product for me, right? So the big push for me though is I've captured, by doing the online link, I've captured a whole bunch of new customers that are all going to get my newsletter now. They're all going to get everything that Scentsy sends out on our behalf. So I have really worked on capitalizing on that side of, they don't have to wait for you to close your fundraiser. Their stuff ships immediately. Yes, you can still collect in your packet that Scentsy has over the workstation. Like I still give them that, but I really have been pushing the online part so that I can capture as much information from their friends and family that want to support them going wherever they're going or doing whatever they're doing or raising whatever funds they're raising. But then it also helps me from a business side to capture the customer information. So that's a quick snippet. There's tons of ways you can do it. You can tailor it to what works best for you. But as somebody who's busy and on the go, I try to really capitalize on the part that will help me in future business also.
Well, and if you think about it like a spider web, you think about one person being able to reach tons of people, right?
Mhm.
Me as one person, I can only reach so many people, but when you have 10 people that are doing a fundraiser for their different organizations, how many people can they reach? It just
Well,
is,
for instance, I did a fundraiser in November for a gal for her daughter's gymnastics. One of the moms who ordered was like, wait a second, my daughter does competitive volleyball and I have to come up with like $3,500. Would you consider doing one for me? And I'm like, heck yeah, I will. I got a whole like 35 new customers out in California because neither of these people are from where I live. So for me, now I'm going to follow up with all these people with a thank you note that says, thanks so much for supporting Lindsay and her girls or whoever and their kids. And because of you, we raised this much money. And I just want to thank you for supporting my small business, but also for supporting your friend. And I've built that connection with them. And then hopefully in the future, the business comes back to me, right? Like they're going to see whatever I give from the customer service side of it. But ultimately, it's also really fun to give back locally too. But
all right, Bonnie.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm trying to make sure that we have the speaker. There we go.
Awesome. So I wrote down in the comments that most of my PRV this month so far has come from mailers. I did a ton of pre-orders. I had, I think, $750 on the first of the month. And that was from my mailers going out early. I was actually prepared this year and I made a pre-order list and I was at leadership numbers and beyond before the first of the month was over. So that was one. And then the other thing that that I really am focusing on is getting people in my funnel, in my sales funnel. And that just means they're getting emails from me at least 3 times a month. I try to do it weekly, doesn't always happen. But there are a lot of people in my contacts that do not really respond to text. I don't know why, but they really love email. And that's my older customers, I guess. But those people will click on a picture and order it like that. So that's where my PWS stuff comes from, is all my email contacts. And it's really nice to be able to get PWS orders from that email and then follow up with a text because it's more personal. And then you create that relationship that way. Not that I'm going to take them out of my email, but it gives them another way to communicate with me. So just building those connections one by one.
Love that. So good. It's crazy how a simple mailer can create so much revenue. Like I
Yep.
was a little late. I did them early last week, and so they're hitting people's mailboxes like this last weekend and this early this week, and I'm already seeing online orders from these customers, and they're
Right.
just like 2 things. They're like large amounts of things, which is like
Yeah.
great. So great.
Right. I will say, I do not have a ton of customers that just go to my website and order off my mailers. They wait for me to follow up with them because they know I'm going to. And if you consistently do that, I have a very easy follow-up system from my mailers. My Excel spreadsheet from my labels goes into my project broadcast. I create a text the day that I print those labels and I post it or I schedule it to go out on whatever 5 or 6 days after that mailer leaves. And if they haven't gotten it yet, then they're looking for it in their mailbox and then they're going to respond. So never send out mail that you're not following up with.
You're like talking to me right now because I need to follow up what I sent messages. It's so true though, because it's like the post and pray thought, right? Analogy, like you
Mhm.
can't post and pray that people are going to order, right? You can't just mail
Yeah.
hope and pray that they're going to order. Some people will because they know that
Mhm.
relationship has been established where I'm like, okay, I know they ordered, I text them a thank you, and like the whole relationship is there. But some people that relationship isn't there. So you have to make it more personal. So
Right.
adding that to my to-do list tomorrow. Thank you, Bonnie.
Cool. You're welcome.
All right. Veronica or Marie or Rochelle was on too, I saw. You gotta show us your face and unmute.
Lindsay, can you hear me?
Yeah, but I can't see your face.
Okay. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm having issues with my mic and my camera, but um I'll tell you quickly what I did. I did an open house. And before I set everything up, whatever I had in my inventory, I did a little display in my house. I made a reel like the day before, kind of telling people like, hey, I'm having an open house. I did it for 3 days. I did it Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Um, and I showed what I had. So a lot of the people didn't even really come. They just were like, hey, how much is that one? And what is that? And send me pictures of that. So it was a lot of like going back and forth with people that saw my stuff. And then the people that did come, I asked them to bring guests. And then I gave them like a free scent circle or free wax sample when they did bring somebody. So the open house turned into going back and forth with customers on like via text, and then people bringing guests. And then I had 2 people. I told them, if you bring guests, we could turn this into your party. So I kind of did an open house for them, and then they got hostess rewards. So I got 2 parties off of that, and then I did my open house. So it's kind of like a little bit of everything. But the reel that I did, I posted on Instagram and Facebook, that got a lot of interaction for me. I boosted that reel. And that helped a lot. So I was kind of working social media, I was working an open house, and I was working with 2 of my hostesses all in one. It was a long weekend, but it was very, very productive. So that's what I did with my open house.
I think it's so great that you're just being vulnerable and sharing, right? Sharing the things that we have. And if you don't know what reels are or any of that, I would encourage you to like look on YouTube and try to understand what a reel is and try to maybe learn how to do it so you can create content, because there's a lot of power in sharing things through different avenues, right? Like posting or a story or a reel, they all generate different results. So kind of tapping into all those different areas is super, super important. All right, Marie or Rochelle, you want to jump on and share? Or Johnny's here too. Johnny, you want to share how you're getting your PRV this month?
Hello, Lindsay. Sorry, I can't share my camera, but right now I've been selling a lot of my inventory and kind of like telling my customers out with the old and with the new. And as they come to my house, I've been just showing them the new scents. But I've been able to get rid of a lot of my old inventory as they come. Right now I'm actually cleaning my garage so I could do an open house as well. But right now it's really just getting rid of my old stuff and having that opportunity to give them samples of the new scents that are coming up is what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love when we have different avenues of selling, like having an open house and using what you have to share it with your customers, right? Using the product that you have to sell to them when they come. I think it's huge. And then sharing what's here now, because them being able to smell samples of the new scents, maybe even getting a sample, maybe getting a sample of a new laundry product that we have, right? The dryer sheets, or just anything that they can experience while they're at your house. Even like you could have a little station for them using the counter clean in your kitchen. Like, hey, here's the counter clean, and here you can try it on my counters and see if you like it. Or I've got some dishes that need washed. You want to see how the dish soap wash my dishes for me, and try it out and see how it works, right? I wouldn't go as far as like you cleaning your bathroom. I mean, you could, but I wouldn't. But I think them experiencing the products in your home, like have a room that has the air purifier in it, and they can experience what it sounds like, what it looks like. And then have a room with a diffuser, and they can experience what a diffuser feel looks like. I love that. So good, Marie. Thank you. All right, Johnny, you want to share?
So I have kind of sucked at my PRV lately. Honestly, I'm gonna be 100% transparent. All of my PRV the last 2 months has been my Scentsy Club. Thankfully, we have built up our Scentsy Club for times like now. I've been super busy moving and then adjusting to moving and trying to adjust to a work schedule and throwing Scentsy in there somewhere. I've finally figured that out, and I started sharing today just the new catalog stuff. I had the testers here, and I kind of did like a sniff session in my stories. I don't have a lot of stock. I never really do, but I do have, you know, the simple things. And so I just grabbed my testers really quick in my catalog, and I did just a quick sniff session. I haven't done one of those in a long time. I actually haven't talked about Scentsy on my, you know, Facebook other than like a random post in a long time. But today I was intentional. I sat down and did that sniff that session, and it felt good actually to get back into it and to talk about Scentsy and to remember why I love it. And so that's gonna be my way the next couple of weeks. It's just well, yeah, until the end of the month. Just talking about what I have, the new stuff, sharing my excitement for spring, summer. It is my favorite of the two catalogs for sure. So just sharing, just continuing to share and get back into it, honestly, is what I'm doing. I have been slacking so much, but today I got back into it and it felt amazing.
You know, that's the great thing about this business is when we have things happening in life, when there are just things that are going on, that the flexibility of our business, while we see when we're not working, there's not much happening. But then just being able to jump right back in and go full force and be able to push and do all the things that we need to do to support our customers, right? And share the products that we love. I love the idea of a sniff test. I did a couple weeks ago where I was smelling all the different testers of the new fragrances, and it was like it was a gut reaction of I liked it or I didn't, and you could tell by my facial expressions, oh yeah, no, I don't like that, toss it aside, and then sharing my favorite ones from that, and people were like, oh my gosh, I loved your reaction, or they would say, I want to smell this one, and it's like, okay, I got a sample headed your way. So being out there, sharing your reactions and sharing your thoughts and highlighting certain scents and certain products makes a huge difference. During COVID, rewind 4 years, the cleaning buckets were a big thing for a little minute, right? You remember that? Anybody participate in that? And have some pretty solid results, right? So creating a space for things like that, where you're focusing on a certain product and sharing just that and trying to get customers to invest and to purchase those items is really, really important. I did 6 Scent Circle reel a few weeks ago, and I had probably 7 or 8 people message me, oh, I need new scents for my car. Like, and I just made a video of putting a sticker on it. It said something like, save a tree, buy me, like super cute, right? Like save those Christmas trees that we all love to look at in people's cars. No, we don't. But it was super cute and super simple, right? And the great thing is you don't have to come up with these ideas, you guys. Like you're constantly being shared in your groups, different tips, like focusing on like a rainbow color of bars or a specific color like green for St. Patrick's Day. I know a lot of people did like a green bar pack. You're not limited to anything particular. You can come up with your own ideas, or you can use ideas that people have that they share, which is super, super beneficial. So, does anybody have anything that they're like dying to share about their PRV this month that they want to share?
Lindsay, I wanted to add something to about the open house that I have. So the inventory I have, whatever I sell, I turn around and I reorder something new or different. Because a lot of times when I do a live video showing a warmer or I stage it in my house, or sometimes like the blossom warmer, I staged it in my bedroom and then I moved it over to my daughter's bedroom and I asked, where does it look better? My bedroom, my daughter's bedroom. And I had a lot of interaction that way and I got sales that way. I didn't really keep that warmer. I just boxed it back up and put it, and I'm going to deliver it to somebody that wanted it. But that keeps my business, it helps keep my business going. A lot of times when I have the warmer like in my possession and I show them how I would use it, it kind of like it's like a light bulb moment for them that they're like, oh yeah, I want that, or oh, I could make that work in my bedroom. So that personally has helped me a lot. It's not that I sell my inventory and then I pocket the money. I keep it going, and that has helped a lot. I just wanted to add that.
Love that. It's so true. When you highlight a product, a warmer, like one thing, people, and I say this all the time, even at events, people buy what they see, right? They don't know what they don't see. And so when you highlight or showcase a product or a collection of something, that's what they're going to buy. So highlighting the cherry blossom warmer, people are going to buy it. Highlighting a 6-pack of scent circles, people will buy it. You just have to be consistent with sharing so they know the options are ultimately endless, right? Because you have a plethora of products, right? We have over 80 different scents. So that's 80 days of posting 1 scent a day if you were to do that. Plus all the warmers and all the diffusers and the fans products. Like there's so many things. So taking time and thinking about, this is where I get my sales and this is where I want to get sales. And how can I take what I'm doing and build on it just a little bit to help generate more sales, to help me connect with my customers a little bit more, to add some value and experience into their life around fragrance. So with that, your challenge tonight is to the one thing you wrote down. I wrote down fundraisers. What'd you write down? Fundraisers, a lot of fundraisers out there, maybe a party, maybe an online order. Whatever you wrote down, that's what I want you to focus on before the end of the month. Either booking that or completing it. Okay. So if you wanted to do some mail outs to generate some sales, because you're going to follow up, Lindsay, with them, right? Put that on your list and do it. Create those mail outs. You could do, you could easily do the scent of the month, right? If you got, hopefully you subscribe to it because this is the month. Well, that's next month, actually, April. See, I'm already into April. But hopefully you got the scent of the month for this month and you can subscribe to that and you will get the bars. Sorry, child just got home. He's banging on the door. And you can make samples and mail them out and then follow up with your customers to generate sales from that. So that's your challenge, to create a plan for the new way you're going to get sales this month and actually do it. We're not going to overanalyze. We're not going to like think 50 different ways to do it. We're going to think maybe a few ways to do it, not just do it, but think a few ways and what would be most effective. And then we're going to do it. Yeah. Everybody in? Give me a thumbs up with your thumb. Yeah. Okay. That's the goal. This is the base. This is the baseline of where we build our business. And as we continue to grow our PRV, you're only going to continue to grow your hostesses. You're only going to continue to grow your team, and your business is going to continue to grow and grow and grow. So with that, we're going to take a little photo before we go. Well, I'll stop the recording because people don't need to see us take a picture. We'll be back next month, April 17th. Ooh, we might have to change that because we have a leadership retreat happening at my house. No, we can still do it. We can totally still do it. April 17th, Wednesday, the third Wednesday, we'll be back here for our Gather and Grow.